Hi, I'm Stephen Miller. I'm a 25-year cast member here at Walt Disney World, and I love Tron.
Let's start by talking about your first experience with the original Tron.
I was a child of the 1980s, and I remember getting the VHS from the library of the original film that came out in 1982, and I'd watch that again and again and again. I wanted to be Kevin Flynn with my personal computer. Of course, it was not hooked up to the internet. I couldn't break into the NCOM system, none of that stuff. And from that, I went to the arcade and discovered the arcade games. From our original arcade Tron game to Discs of Tron, I spent so many quarters playing that game.
What was it like for you to actually be part of this experience now that brings Tron to life in a way much different than what we've seen in the movies and the video games?
I think what Disney does best is immersing our guests into a world. And we are immersed in the world of Tron at Tron Lightcycle Run presented by Enterprise. This new attraction at Magic Kingdom, I mean, being a fan of the film, both Tron and Tron Legacy for so many years, and now to be able to ride this thrilling new attraction on the back of a light cycle and race on the gaming grid, it's an experience I never thought I'd have.
Can you talk a little about the actual experience, what people will experience here?
Sure. So with Tron Lightcycle Run, it takes place after Tron Legacy. And in the film, you have Sam Flynn, the son of Kevin Flynn. He's created these portals onto the gaming grid. The first portal was created at Shanghai Disney Resort. The second portal is created at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World Resort. The idea is that you, as a user, and again, that's what humans are, you're going to race against the programs, and that's what is on the gaming grid. You're going to race against some of the most menacing programs, Team Orange, Team Red, or Team Yellow. And it's your job to race and collect the first 8 energy gates before the other team. So if you race and collect all those 8 energy gates first, you're the victor. But it's such a thrilling sensation because you feel like you're digitized onto the grid with the combination of the music and the lights and the experience. You're in the world of Tron.
For fans of the world of Tron, can you talk about some of the Easter eggs that have been planted?
If you've seen Tron Legacy, you're going to notice hexagons everywhere. That's the shape of the grid. That's repeated at the attraction itself. You'll see them on the ground, you'll see them on the wall. That kind of nod to the original architecture of the grid. It was really cool to see. When you're in the queue, you're going to go and see this giant replica of a Shiva laser. Now, this is the laser that Kevin and Sam Flynn use under Flynn's arcade in his workshop to be digitized and transported to the grid. When you're in the queue in the Hall of Champions, you're going to see some visuals and so forth. Look for the siren. If you remember the siren, they're all dressed in white. They're preparing Sam Flynn for the game. You're going to see that same kind of thing. And of course, there's identity discs, and then just the light cycle design itself. That scene when Sam runs, he's like, oh, I can do this, right? And he's running and he just jumps into it. You feel like you're on that light cycle. And then the launch, it's unlike anything in the world.
You're wearing a pretty cool jacket. Can you talk a little about some of the merch that people will be able to buy?
So I've been with Disney for 25 years. For 16 of those years, I supported merchandise. And I love our merchandise team because they create really cool products that are so inspired by the experiences you have here. And they worked very closely with Tron Legacy, the visual cues and so forth, to create some really cool collections. You're going to find them in the Tomorrowland Launch Depot. They have collections that are inspired by the film itself. So this jacket lights up. They have an identity disc. There's a helmet that Sam Flynn, wears in the film. There's a replica of that. And there's also this other collection that's like a throwback to the 1980s, to the original Tron, with some action figures, some really cool Flynn's arcade graphics, home decor, and then one of the neatest experiences is you can become a program. There's an action figure where you can create, you have your face, you have some audio that you record, and you can become one of 4 different programs from the grid.
Yeah, I know you also had mentioned that you're a big gamer. Can you talk a little bit about how Tron inspired your gaming, especially back in the arcade days?
Well, if I think about being transported into those worlds, right, and being lost in that environment and so forth, it's so commonplace today. We play games all the time, and Walt Disney World is this huge place to play, from that. I remember spending so many times playing arcade games, and I just loved the stories. I loved being able to that thrill of the competition. And particularly with Tron Lightcycle Run, it's that race. So you're racing against something, and you feel that kind of same excitement that I feel whenever I'm playing video games.